enthusiasts, welcome to another thrilling episode of Techno Talk, where we unravel the latest in the world of technology. I'm your host, Maddie, and joining me as always is the man with the master plan, the tech guru himself.
That's right, Maddie. It's Joshua here, ready to deep dive into the circuits and codes that make our tech world spin. Whether you're a seasoned developer or just a curious soul, we've got something for everyone on Techno Talk.
Absolutely, Joshua. Today's episode is going to be electrifying. We'll be decoding the mysteries of quantum computing, exploring the uncharted territories of the digital realm.
Buckle up, folks. Today's episode's gonna be electrifying. And later in the show, we'll be discussing the latest breakthroughs in artificial intelligence, from cutting-edge research to real-world applications.
You won't want to miss it. We'll also be taking a look at some of the hottest gadgets hitting the market. Joshua, any sneak peeks you want to share?
Oh, you know me, Maddie. I've got my eyes on the horizon, and there's some mind-blowing tech headed our way. Stay tuned for the scoop on the gadgets that will redefine the future.
Wow, exciting stuff, Joshua. So whether you're a coding connoisseur or just love the thrill of the tech chase, grab your headphones and join us on this episode of Techno Talk. So let's get started. The entire intro was made by OpenAI ChatGPT.
Now, my first topic of the day is definitely tech related. Now, let's
Okay,
talk
I'm
about
listening.
this new bill being passed to ban
Ooh,
TikTok.
I'm just a bill. All right.
Did you hear about that, Matt?
I did hear about this.
Now, even Biden is saying that, if they pass the bill, he'll sign it. We're
Wow.
looking
So
at some
if the House
anti.
and Senate come together and pass this thing, Biden's signing it. He's not vetoing it, right?
Yeah, no, he'll pass it. We're
Wow.
looking at some anti anti China movement, I guess, for bans against the TikTok app. I personally have never used it.
You never used
Now,
TikTok?
yeah, I've never used it, so I mean, I would never be affected, but I know literally millions of people would
And the
at least be.
livelihoods.
Oh yeah.
There's many people making a living from TikTok
Oh
every
yeah,
day,
yeah, yeah.
you
That's
know, who
crazy.
live stream, have ads and sponsors. I don't think it's much of an issue today though, because we got like YouTube Shorts and
Yeah,
Insta
then
Reels.
there'd be a lot of moving to different platforms,
Yeah, the
and
creators.
yeah, might see some uh mesh between TikTok and some of the other places, but I mean, it's not like we haven't seen that already. I mean, they're already posting to their other accounts on all these other different platforms.
Yeah, they already kind of prepared themselves for, a potential situation where they do have to move platforms. And I think one thing that really separates TikTok apart from the clan would be their editing tools and the music and sound effects that they have built right in the app. A lot of these tools are not available with maybe Reels or YouTube Shorts as in depth. So, these tools
Mm,
won't be able to inspire as many creators to kind of like make their own stuff.
certainly.
Like, that AI voice that always is on TikToks?
So like, uh, this this is me cooking chicken, like that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
annoying voice. I hate
Right.
it, but
Right. Well,
it helps
TikTok
people
came
who
up
don't want
with
to
that, right?
speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think the downfall of TikTok has been coming for a little while, and I'm kind of like you, Joshua. I have not used TikTok that much. I mean, I have used it, but as of
Mm,
recently, I don't use it enough to warrant it as an app on my phone. The only times I've really used it is like on the website to upload stuff. Like literally, I'll upload my content on there, but I won't actually watch other content. Like I'm strictly using it from a creator perspective. Um,
yeah, to push out some of your business stuff or your
Or
YouTube.
like Lethal Company clips and stuff like that. I know
Yeah,
you got a few
I've
on
se
there. Yeah.
I've seen you put up.
And they're on YouTube Shorts too, so I definitely
Yeah,
diversify, the platform. And, to be
most
honest,
people do.
I feel like YouTube Shorts is so much better than TikTok in a way, because TikTok just, I don't know, it gives me the itch. Um, I don't know why, but did you see they have a store now? A TikTok store.
A
You could literally
TikTok
shop.
store?
Yeah,
What's that?
it's like
I've
Temu,
seen
basically.
oh,
Yeah, I'm,
I've seen the, like, live shows they're doing with the, like, robot people.
yeah, yeah. It's weird, honestly, and I don't know. I mean, so tell me a little bit more. Like, does TikTok need to sell the company, or what do they need to do? Like, if this bill's passed, do they have some type of deadline or expiration date to hit before it like
Well
comes into effect? Or
well, if TikTok is banned, they're not selling the company. They're a huge company in literally every area of the world. Like, I saw this, uh, like, TikTok over here is pushing and pushing content to American citizens of, like, just dumb content. Over there in China, TikTok's pushing and pushing content that's, like, super helpful and super knowledgeable, keeping people smart. And that's, like, a little bit of a raised eyebrow. Like, why are they doing that? Like, TikTok is across many countries. Like, they wouldn't have to sell necessarily. Um, but um, I didn't look into it too much other than that. But what
yeah.
do you think about that?
What? You cut out there for a second.
What do you think about that?
I think that just the whole ban in general, I think it's kind of just an opportunity for the competitors to catch up, the American market, the American technology market, to kind of take over that market share. And I don't think we'll see that many waves really from it. The most that's really going to happen is, Apple and Google Play stores will be required to ban it from their phones. And, you'll open up the app and it just won't be available in your region anymore. I
Yeah.
mean, you could always use a
Now,
VPN if it bothers you so
yeah,
much, though.
I was gonna say a VPN will bypass that pretty easily.
Yeah, like there's really going to be no concern, really. Like, if you live in Canada, this is not going to affect you at all. And technically,
Yeah.
if you're a Canadian citizen or you have Canadian family, you could just start up a mobile phone plan, bring it here in America, and kind of just do whatever you want, because they're not gonna know. Now, I'm not
Yeah.
sure if it matters, like if you're on United States servers, or like how that works. I
Um,
mean, because I don't think the government has ever actually implemented a firewall or anything to like ban technology. Like, this is the first
um,
actual app that I think the government would ever ban. Um,
I'm not sure about that, but one time I just like wanted a Canadian app and I just made an entire new Apple ID and set my location in Canada and I just was able to download the app.
yeah, yeah, that's fair, and that's, I feel like, what most people would do. In that situation, they would just go that route, but it doesn't really. I don't think it's gonna bother people as much, because I was concerned a few years ago, like before YouTube Shorts and all that came out. But I feel like
Yeah.
the executives at YouTube and all that, and Facebook, Meta, they're like excited. They're hoping that TikTok gets banned at this point. I mean, that's one
Yeah,
less competitor in their field.
Facebook's got Facebook, Instagram, and
Well,
Meta as well.
I have something funny. So I'm glad you started the show off with TikTok because my first topic is TikTok as well. But it's a different type of like subgenre. So basically, TikTok, the company, ByteDance, who makes TikTok, they are working on a brand new app. And guess what it's competing with?
Meta?
Yes, it's competing with Instagram. So TikTok is already
Wow.
an Instagram competitor when it comes to videos. However, while TikTok is a video first social network, Instagram still lets users post photos in their feed and share 24-hour stories. Now it seems that TikTok has been working on a new app to compete with Instagram's photo feed. So, yeah, that's
Wow.
pretty interesting, huh? And it's called TikTok Photos. Um, it's basically an app that looks almost identical to Instagram. Um, and it's just basically, I think TikTok trying to avert their ban, which is so smart. Like,
Here,
think
let's
about
make
this.
another one and
Yeah.
avoid this.
Well, you know what I
Uh,
was just thinking? I was
what?
thinking that this bill's only banning TikTok. It's not banning ByteDance as a company from performing business here. You know,
Yeah.
that's how stupid, like, no offense to the government, but that's how stupid the government is. Like, they'll literally go through all this work and court and hearings to ban TikTok, but they won't ban the entire company that makes these applications, which means other applications they make could do the same exact thing for our national security as TikTok. So like that makes no
What?
sense. Like you'd think, isn't ByteDance the one who was the alleged um company that was stealing US data? Like it wasn't TikTok in particular. Like that's just a product of
Really?
theirs, right? So
Yeah.
so the government should just ban the whole company. And my theory is if they're going to be making an Instagram competitor, they chose to name it TikTok Photos. Guess why? Because when you look up TikTok after it's banned, nothing will pop up. But when you look up TikTok again, you'll see TikTok Photos. So all those people going to download the app will end up downloading the Photos app. And they'll completely avert the whole process. It'll end up just a little show, and then the government
Yeah.
will be complaining again. Oh my god, their new app is led in the ecosystem. All the users in the US are now using TikTok photos. It's just ridiculous, really.
Yeah. Jeez. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do to get your keep your money flowing in. TikTok has a lot of money flowing in.
Yeah, right.
With
I
that,
mean,
yeah.
they've worked tremendously hard to keep their market share, and I don't think it's going anywhere from this point forward.
Yeah. Was that
Yeah,
your
that
topic?
was my topic.
I guess it's my turn then. This one's a little not well, sort of is because
Right, right.
um. All right, so there's this huge company. Now they're trying to bring back mammoths, right? And
Wait,
they just
what is that?
recently like an actual mammoth.
Oh, I thought it was an app.
No. So they're trying to bring back mammoths, and they just recently shared a breakthrough in their development, and they hope to have elephants giving birth to like a mammoth pretty soon. And now what this is gonna do is better the like northern Arctic ecosystem and environment. Because mammoths are were really helpful, and they're really um, and so bringing them back would really heal the ecosystem in the northern Arctic. And they didn't say anything about putting them in like Alaska, but putting them in Alaska would also be beneficial.
That is interesting.
Uh, yeah, so they have to modify like a whole bunch of genetical stuff, and so they have to basically implant it into like an elephant because elephants are probably the closest thing to a mammoth, right? That we have right now.
Right, yeah. I mean, what originally happened to mammoths, though? Like, I don't really remember.
Um, well, they're extinct, but like, what do they call the they were heavily hunted, right? Just like the whales in the north, like, oh, let's go and hunt them because of their blubber, and so the whales up north are kind of endangered, I think. But they basically did that to the mammoths too, and they just kind of died off as well. But
Wow.
definitely a significant leap.
And they're
But they're
using
getting closer and
they're using
closer.
advanced DNA technology to make this happen, or
Yes, they have to like implant it into the elephant, like into its womb,
right.
kind of.
That's honestly
Um,
pretty interesting. I mean, if they're
and
able to
on
do
that,
that, they could do dinosaurs, right? Or no?
um,
Well, I guess they
I
can't do it
mean,
through elephants, right?
yeah, well, elephants just basically like a hairy, or mammoths are like a hairy elephant with like giant horns,
Yeah, right, right.
and they're like super similar. So it's I wouldn't say it's easy because I don't like studying science, but
Yeah. Too many
it's
pluses and minuses and
probably
dots.
easier than going from like a lizard to like a dinosaur or something.
Right, right. Yeah, because of
There,
similar DNA path, I guess.
yeah. This company is also working on the what's it called? The Thynacil, some like cat looking thing that went extinct in like 1980 or something.
Yeah.
You heard of that one?
I've heard of it. I don't know the name. It was some
Yeah.
kind of cat though, right?
Yeah. Some kind of it was like some puma looking thing with stripes on the side.
Panther? Or no? I
No,
probably
no.
sound dumb. Hey, we need an expert to come on the show. If you're interested, email us.
Yes. We are accepting guest applications.
Yes, we are. Matthew at mabatfilms.com. You'll find it in the description of the show as well, if you're interested.
We
But
also appreciate reviews.
oh yeah, for sure. And reviews actually help us out. You know, it pushes our podcast up in the algorithm. And also, I started a little survey. It's at bit.ly/MattyJoshPod. So if you go to that link, you'll be able to actually review our podcast and tell us a little bit about what you think about it, how we could improve, and go from there.
Very helpful.
Yeah, so I actually have not told Joshua about it yet, but It's a
Ah,
pretty cool form that we have set up here,
sure.
and
Okay.
it just gives little options. You could put what you think about the show, your favorite parts, how we could improve. You could rate our audio qualities in a star rating type of situation, and then yeah, go from there. So it's pretty cool. I always like gathering feedback from listeners and improving from there. Are you ready for the next topic, by the way?
Yeah, what do you have next, Matt?
Well, mine is pretty much similar to the old news that has been happening with Apple. But Apple reverses course, allowing Epic Games to launch Fortnite app in the EU. So last Wednesday, Apple escalated a
Oh,
long-standing feud with Epic Games by blocking the game maker from launching its own online marketplace. The two companies have been involved in a legal battle since 2020, when Epic accused Apple of violating US antitrust laws by charging up to 30% commissions on in app purchases on its iPhone operating system devices. Apple's decision to allow Epic to proceed with its plans follows the European Union's deadline last Thursday, requiring big tech companies to comply with the Digital Markets Act, which is a set rules banning Apple and Google from controlling which apps can be distributed on devices with iOS or Android operating systems.
wow. That's 4 years in the making.
Yep. So, finally on phones in the EU, you could actually download your own like app store from the app store, which is crazy. Cuz they never let you do that before. Um
No. Yeah.
Everything would have to be a separate app and it would all be controlled within iOS and they would be required to charge you 30%. Well, now with this new system,
Oh.
they don't have to charge you anything if you make your own marketplace. So,
So you don't have to go and jailbreak your iPhone anymore.
no. Yeah, basically you get all the benefits of jailbreaking without actually doing it.
You get all the customization, like app pictures.
Uh yeah. Yeah, you get that. I think that's actually a feature now. But
Really?
yeah, cuz I know
I
you
actually like
could
that one.
definitely customize a lot of stuff.
I like that.
Yeah.
So this is only in the EU.
Yeah, only in the EU sadly.
Oh, that's
But the big
unfortunate.
point was really is that Epic Games, they advocated for a lot of this to happen. Um
Yeah.
And what happened is actually Epic Games, as soon as this law was passed, Epic Games went to go publish Fortnite on the App Store in the EU, and they were actually banned immediately. Yeah, even after this law passing. And that's because Tim Sweeney, the CEO of Epic and the founder, he was trash talking Apple. So and then Apple banned him, and I guess they unbanned him promptly after because they're like they remembered that, and now they have to follow the EU's rules. They can't just ban him.
He knew he would be saved by the EU's rules.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I have a funny thing though. Like I know this is not in my notes here, but
Yeah.
I know people are probably gonna clip this segment of the podcast because it's kind of off the hinges a little. But so the App Store prohibits any apps showing 18 plus content, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's some apps out there, I'm not going to name names, that clearly, clear as day, clear as the sunlight, literally are all about sharing 18 plus content. And
Yeah.
that's like a main point of it. And these apps are in the App Store today, you
Yeah.
know? But then meanwhile, Discord complies perfectly with the rules and they ban Discord servers on iOS. If you're viewing them from the app, you won't be able to see any of the content in the server. But like literally, I don't even know. Apple's, supposed to be the one literally banning 18 plus apps, yet they are allowing multitudes of apps still on their platform today that pretty much allow that
That's
activity.
that's crazy of them to just not even care
Yeah.
and
I
just
mean,
let the things slip through.
there's so much they could be doing right now that they're not. So, I don't know, it's kind of concerning. Well,
That
not
is
kind of, but
concerning.
extremely concerning, I would say.
Yeah, especially since like some young kid could just go and find that easily out of Apple.
Yeah. Yeah, true. I mean, it is Apple's fault at the end of the day, for really not caring. Um,
Yeah, nobody can touch Apple though. Oh, my
yeah.
kid downloaded something. Well, whatever. He signed the privacy policy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I get that. I don't know. It's really difficult to do much about, but going forward,
certainly.
we'll see.
Now, my next one is a bit strange. You ready for this?
Right.
So, this is a startup company, Lumen Orbit, just recently came out of the dark and raised $2.4 million from investors to put data centers into space. What do you think about that?
Really?
Yeah, they said we'll have them up in space and process the data before they get sent down to process information. And I'm not so sure how I feel about that because what happens if you need server maintenance? You're gonna have server uh, maintenance astronauts.
Oh my god. I
What
mean,
are you gonna
imagine
do?
how much they would charge per hour, actually. Like, yo, you'd be making a lot of money.
1 penny a second.
More than that.
Duh, that builds up a lot.
True, true. Especially all the
Probably,
days you're in there, right?
yeah, like similar work to like you see now underwater welders. Have you heard of that?
Yeah.
Underwater welding, like
Yeah,
that's a
I've
super
heard of
high
that
paying job.
before.
Get a
Yeah.
250,000 a year.
My
It's
god.
not easy, but
Doesn't
have
sound
you also
easy.
seen that that one job where you can go maintain a lighthouse for like $1 million a year, but it's like
Really?
this horrible lighthouse that will have giant waves as tall as the White House. And if it gets too bad or too stormy, then you have to have a helicopter come pick you up.
What the hell? That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
I've never heard of that before, but I mean, hey, these operations in space now are starting to worry me.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I feel like um it's only a matter of time until other countries want a piece of the pie and then they start getting mad at the US for
Yeah.
claiming everything.
Have you seen how many Starlink satellites got sent up?
Oh yeah.
So many, dude. I mean, like it's great Wi-Fi, but like
Space trash.
we're gonna have Saturn rings of satellites here soon.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I
Be
feel
like a
like that's
movie.
probably not good for the atmosphere.
No, not
Nobody
great.
knows the effects. They just kind
I've
of put them
watched
up
some
there. They're like, "Hey, look at this."
I've watched some things. It's the trash is not great, but it's just space, so well,
Yeah.
we're gonna send our trash up.
I mean, it still remains to be seen who exactly governs the space, you know?
Yeah,
Like, I mean, I know NASA takes control of a lot, but like, would Russia like that? Would China like that? You know?
yeah. Like, how do you conquer a planet? Like, uh, oh, we're gonna go live on Mars, and let's say they can. Like, oh, Japan claims this section. Like,
Yeah,
now there's two
right.
Japan
I
or
mean, at some
something.
point, we'll have a whole conversation. Just think in the future about other planets and issues on those planets, not our own. We'll be worrying
Yeah,
so much about space that we just forget about our own planet.
yeah.
I mean, it's
That'd be
kind of an
fun.
interesting topic, though, because we don't know how the future's going to become, you
We really
know?
don't.
Kind of scary, honestly.
A bit, a bit, indeed.
But,
What's your next topic, man?
well, yesterday was the Oscars as of the filming date.
Really?
Yeah. Do watch the Oscars.
Never,
Really
never have. Yep.
interesting. I mean, to be honest, these last few years I kind of skipped out on it, and I will say there's been a lot of like alternative award shows now. Like it used to be a world where like just the Oscars existed, but now we got the
Oh
SAG
yeah,
AFTRA awards and you know
the
all
Game
these other
Awards,
different.
the
Yeah,
Music Awards.
yeah, right. The Grammys, the MVAs, um
Yeah,
screenplay awards or something I think
I
it's
don't
called.
even know. I don't even know
Um
half of these you're listing.
yeah, right. There's a lot out there, probably way more than what we could list here. But pretty much what happened is Oppenheimer took home 7 Oscars, um
Wow.
and
Well deserved
Christopher
though.
Nolan got his first ever Oscar after 8 nominations for Best Picture
Wow.
and Director. You know, I think he deserves it more than any of the other people, honestly. Like, I've always been a fan of Chris. I think he makes incredible movies. I mean, you've probably seen
What else did he
Interstellar,
make?
right?
I think so.
Yeah, he made
Oh,
Interstellar,
what
the whole
else?
Batman series. Um,
The second one, the second Batman's, or not
um,
the original one.
probably like the more latest one.
The recent one with I don't know any actor names.
The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Rises.
Yeah, those
Um,
ones. I like those.
yeah, all the movies he made so far were Oppenheimer, Tenet, um, Dunkirk,
Oh
Interstellar,
yeah, I liked Dunkirk a lot.
The Dark Knight Rises, Inception, The Dark Knight, Batman Begins,
Yeah,
Insomnia,
good.
Memento, and Following. I'm sure there's some more movies that he made. I think it says here that he made 12 movies in total. Batman Begins. I don't know if I said that
You
already.
said that, yeah.
Prestige. But yeah, he made a lot of good movies, and he's always been a very well-renowned director. And in my book, I think he probably produced some of the best like movies of our decade, kind of.
Mm,
Well, the most out there movies, that really made a impact, I would say. I mean, Interstellar was one of my favorite movies. It still is, like my top three. So, but Oppenheimer was
Yeah,
a really good movie. Honest to God, I mean that movie was just very well made, and
I
um,
loved Oppenheimer. It
yeah, and I know a lot of
was great.
people. Some people said that it's boring and this and that, but
Oh,
like,
whatever.
but like, it really showed the story in such a good way, and
Yeah.
I really appreciated that about the film. Um, and I believe Killian Murphy, he won his first ever Oscar
Oh.
as an Irish man, and Killian Murphy is the main actor in Oppenheimer. He played as Oppenheimer, so he did an
Oh, really?
incredible job. Yeah, yeah, he did a great job overall, I would say.
He didn't he didn't get one for Peaky Blinders?
I I don't know. Did he?
I would think that one's pretty big as well.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. Yeah, he won the first Oscar ever. He's
Wow.
he's also the first Irish-born actor to win Best Actor as in an Oscar. He did win global Glo- Golden Globe Award, an Academy Award, all the other freaking
Yeah.
awards out there. Um, now, the long overdue British Arthur thanked Universal chief Donna Langley for backing the historic bioepic, which grossed almost 1 billion worldwide. Not everyone would have made that call, but Langley bet that the movie would, at minimum, duplicate the performance of Dunkirk, 512 million worldwide, and won three
Wow.
Oscars. Oppenheimer delivered and then some by making history urgent and riveting, accessible and thought provoking, and finally entertaining. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. And I guess some other noteworthy things is I think Billie Eilish and Phineas, her brother, won
Phineas.
best song of the year.
Did her brother did he get in her song or something?
Well, her brother's the one who produces all of her music since the beginning, pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So her and her
crazy.
brother are a duo team, basically. What was I made for was the song that won the award. And yeah, all,
Wow.
all of her music's produced with Phineas, her brother, and they basically produce everything together in house. She doesn't have any other producers. I mean, I'm sure she has someone, but her brother does a majority of the work. So they both
That's
kind of won that
that's
award.
crazy.
Yeah, and I think it really is like interesting too. Like I feel like the Oscars, a lot of the time, unfortunately, they miss the mark. They don't, do the right movies who win and stuff. But I think this
Yeah.
time around they kind of did good. They did what the audience would have done. I mean, if I owned an award show, I would have probably done similar picks. Um, I think they did a pretty good job.
Yeah. I haven't listened to the song personally, but
Yeah,
I think it's cool that her and her brother stuck it out.
yeah, they worked together and made it happen. What is your next topic?
For my next one, uh, is a quantum computing breakthrough.
Ooh,
Now, the Google made a what they're calling a bristle cone chip. Now, they achieved quantum supremacy. Now, they're using like quantum computers, and this is faster than the world's fastest supercomputers. and this could revolutionize crypto cryptography, um, drug discovery for some reason, and optimization. Now, optimization is big because loading screens, like if you don't want to be sitting there waiting for it to load, if it's faster, then that could be beneficial.
Right.
What do you think about that?
I mean, hey, a world without loading screens sounds like a much better world to me. Honestly,
Sounds
like,
like Ready Player One or something.
yeah, right. I mean, it's really nice though to imagine a future like that. I just hope that um this new quantum computing and this next level of computing, I really hope that it's done responsibly and fairly and isn't restricted from the regular person, you know, like if you would like to own a quantum computer, you should have the right. That's my opinion.
That may be a bit difficult. Now,
Hey, I'll turn my room into a small data center.
now you may be wondering what quantum supremacy is.
I am.
Now, quantum supremacy is basically a significant milestone in the field of quantum computing. It refers to the point at which a quantum computer can perform a specific task faster than the most powerful classical supercomputers. Now, essentially, it demonstrates that quantum computers have computational capabilities beyond what the classical computers can achieve. Here are some key points that quantum supremacy uh, sort of masters.
Right.
Their complexity, um, what is impossible for classical computers is relatively easy for quantum supremacy. Specific tasks, really easy, way faster. Uh, the Google bristle cone, um,
Bristle cone. What is that?
I do not know, but Google
It sounds super high
achieved.
tech.
It sounds weird to be honest, like the Threadripper. You heard of the Threadripper?
Yeah.
Like this super fast PC. But whatever.
Hmm.
Now and their applications are built for optimization. Now quantum computing works basically by using qubits. It sounds really dumb, but in classical computing we use bits, you like 0 and 1, like you've heard of that, like little
Yeah.
bits of 0 and 1. In quantum computing there are quantum bits or qubits, and they can both be 0 and 1 simultaneously, which is superposition. So
Whoa.
instead of 0 or 1, it's 0 and 1. Pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Imagine a spinning coin in midair. Before it lands, it's neither head nor tails, but both. Similarly, qubits exist in mixed superposition.
Whoa. I mean, not gonna lie, I'm not too much into that technology. Like I don't know that much about it, but like
Yeah.
that's crazy. I mean, I feel like there's some space age stuff being built there, you know, that
Oh,
we
yeah.
we don't really know about even. And that's hard to really fully grasp and like understand like all the different stuff going on, you know. Um,
Yeah.
but that's pretty interesting, not gonna lie. I mean, what are they going to be using these like computers and new technology for
I said a
primarily?
little
I,
bit
I would
earlier,
I would assume
but
AI, right?
potentially, for right now, they're really focusing on cryptography, drug discovery, and optimization.
Cryptography.
I have no idea how they would use it for drug discovery, but hey, if it brings down
Drug
drugs, I'm
discovery.
all for it.
I mean,
And
that's interesting.
cryptography, like, I'm not sure, but
Cryptography. I'm gonna look that up. That's a process of hiding or coding information so that only a person a message was intended for can read it. Huh? That's interesting. Oh, it's secure communication, cryptography. It merges pictures. Oh, merging words with images, scrambling plain text into ciphertext, producing microdots. Huh, that's interesting.
hmm.
Made by ancient Egypt.
Ah, so maybe not crypto stuff.
Yeah, I thought it meant like cryptocurrency.
I thought it did too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the drug discovery. I think a lot of that has to do with maybe a supercomputer that can figure out your latest medicines and stuff. Like
Yeah.
think about how cool it would be if we
Oh
didn't
yeah,
have to
like
go
not
through all of these like trials and all that with medicine. Like it
yeah,
kind of
like
like
not
just did it for us and we knew what to do.
yeah. Yeah, like not necessarily bad drugs like medicine.
Yeah. And I feel like we're definitely heading closer and closer to a medical breakthrough with technology. Because, like, with AI, I feel like that's going to really help out the medical field tremendously. I mean, while AI can't really um, make the perfect, like, scientific data to create a vaccine or an RNA type of infusion, but it could start to get that advanced where it could absolutely produce stunning results. I mean,
Yeah.
think about today how like you ask it to write a script or an essay and it does, an 8 out of 10 job most of the time. Well, someday it could give you all the instructions to make a certain cure for something, and it'll do a pretty accurate job, and that would really help a lot of research and development because by manual process you got to go through and do all this research and development for years, developing drugs and
Yeah.
all this stuff. But imagine with technology on the side, Copilot there, you could really produce some life-changing stuff, and someday we'll be living
If
until we're like 200 plus.
if it's helpful. I mean, you'd have to get rid of cell deterioration. I mean, that's basically what kills you and a bunch of other stuff. But
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like the key is really just slowing down your body's aging and
yeah.
all that. And if we can do that and kind of make it last longer and work more optimized, because I feel like our bodies obviously they know how to work optimized, but if we give it something to
Yeah.
work even more optimized,
Yeah,
then
like if
yeah.
we stop eating horribly, then we may
That could be a
we may
beginning,
achieve
right?
that.
That's a beginning. That's a start. I mean, hey,
Stop
we're
eating
gonna
these.
need a lot of medicines for the rate that Americans are eating,
Oh
McDonald's
yeah.
and Wendy's and everything, all that
Yeah.
garbage inside of it.
What's your next topic?
Well, my next topic is something I actually been wanting to talk about for a little while. I was actually anxious about it because I just heard about the story today, and it's about Boeing. I don't know if you heard about the story.
Boeing. Huh.
Um,
What is it?
a Boeing whistleblower found dead in U.S.
Oh, I did not.
Yes.
Go on.
A former employee at Boeing, known for raising concerns about the firm's production standards, has been found dead in the U.S. John Barnett had worked for Boeing for 32 years until his retirement in 2017. In the days before his death, he had been giving evidence in a whistleblower lawsuit against the company. So keep this part in mind.
Yes.
Days before his death, he was giving evidence in a whistleblower lawsuit against the company. So he was a whistleblower giving, you know, information.
Yeah.
And Boeing said it was saddened to hear of Mr. Barnett's passing. The Charleston County coroner confirmed his death to BBC on Monday. It had said that the 62-year-old had died from a self-inflicted wound on March 9th, and police were investigating. Mr. Barnett had
Ev-
worked for the U.S. plane giant for 32 years until his retirement in 2017 on health grounds. From 2010, he worked as a quality manager at the North Charleston plant, making the 787 Dreamliner a state-of-the-art airliner used mainly on long-haul routes. In 2019, Mr. Barnett told the BBC that under pressure workers had been deliberately fitting substandard parts to aircraft on the production line. He also said that he uncovered serious problems with oxygen systems, which could mean 1 in 4 breathing masks would not work in an emergency. He said
Jeez.
soon after starting work in South Carolina, he had become concerned that the push to get new aircraft built meant the assembly process was rushed and that safety was compromised, something the company denied. So, a lot to unpack.
Every movie ever is telling me that that was not
You think it
self-inflicted.
was self
Mm,
inflicted?
No.
I mean, as soon as I heard Boeing in death, I was like, oh, yeah, that's what happened. And this was in Charleston, South Carolina, I believe. So,
Wow.
not too far from here, really. Um, and this guy literally, he been giving depositions to a lawsuit to a law firm against Boeing, and he was basically telling in the depositions like everything. Like he actually was about to go in for his third day of depositions, and
Yeah.
he was dead. So, but like the previous 2 days, he gave a lot of insider information, and like it said there, he was kind of in control of the quality. He was a quality manager there, so
Well,
he oversaw the whole process. And why would a
so he gets to see the inner
yeah.
workings.
Yeah, he gets to see everything, and he even admitted that there was substandard parts on a lot of the aircraft. Um, and I mean, hearing about this little self-inflicted wound, no way. I mean, come on. If you're gonna try to play that off as like, you know, oh, he killed himself, why would he want to kill himself? Like, is there a valid he was literally in a fine state of mind, fine
Oh no,
enough
I
to be
hate
giving
whistleblowing so much. I want to die.
yeah, he was fine enough to be giving information to lawyers, whistleblowing, probably getting some type of payment for doing so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if whistleblowers get paid. Maybe they do, who knows?
Whistleblowers are protected under the Whistleblowing Act,
Yeah,
and yeah, they're allowed to as a
yeah.
unethical business.
And I
There's
mean,
a whole government act protecting them.
yeah, and I really think the FBI and stuff should get involved, get to the bottom of this here. We can't be
Yeah.
covering up this stuff. And like, John, he worked for 32 years at Boeing. He retired in 2017. So, he's 62 years old. He just retired. He had a good life, a good retirement.
Must have
you
been
know?
eating him up the past 7 years. Finally was like, damn, I gotta go and get this off my chest before I
Yeah,
die or something.
yeah, right. I mean, I really do not believe that he would have done that to himself. Now, I'm not saying like I knew John's life, maybe his wife left
Yeah.
him, um, maybe
Nah.
his wife left him, but you know, I feel like there's a solid 99% chance that he did not do that himself. Um, and I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
saying this on a podcast is probably pretty bad because now Bones going to be looking for us. But yeah, I mean, there are hitmen out there. I was thinking about that the other day. There's people out there who literally get paid to murder for a living, and if not for private companies, it's for the government. You know, and there's a lot of situations like that happen every day that we don't even know about. Like I
Oh,
always
yeah.
said, you know, they talk about murdering. Well, that's only the murders that we know of, not the murders that we don't know of. Just like how there's a lot of missing people out there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's kind of insane, I think, and it's just another tribute to how bad Boeing is as a company lately. I mean, they really fell off, I feel like. I mean, they've had nothing but issues with their aircraft, and they take minimal responsibility for it. But they're very, very much cozied up with the government too. You have to think
Yeah.
Boeing's probably one of the top contractors for the military here, so it's kind of scary how much power they have. Um,
A bit, yeah.
and
Especially
and
with, all their crashes and them coming out to the news and being like, "Oh, yeah, there's nothing to worry about. That was just a malfunction.
and then it happened again.
It's all safe." Yeah,
Yeah, right.
people lose trust in Boeing, and then
Yeah, and
not
like
great.
then the door fell off because the bolts weren't screwed in properly, and you know,
An
it's
engine
just
fail, other stuff.
yeah. I mean, it's crazy, really, and I know Airbus. They have a tremendous track record, no drama whatsoever. As far as I know. I mean, correct
Airbus
me if
did.
I'm wrong, but I've heard they're a pretty solid company. And they actually delayed deliveries of their aircrafts because they want to make sure that it's done right. You
Yeah.
know, something that Boeing can't do. They just want to rush it out. Here, put some duct tape here. You know,
Yeah, I
like
mean, like, if you know anything about building aircraft, like, you have to have everything built perfectly. Like,
well,
have you
that's
seen like used turbine blades? Like, if there's even one tiny dent, you have
yeah,
to take apart the entire engine, service the engine, and then put it back
yeah.
just because of one tiny dent in the huge turbine blade.
Oh, that makes 100% sense. Honestly, I could definitely see where they're coming from there. I mean, the way I look at it too is remember that situation where the aircraft nosedived, right? And it was a Boeing.
Yeah,
It happened like
yeah.
2 or 3 times. And the first time it happened, people were like, "Oh, cool," you know. Then it happened again, and then it happened again, and then they grounded all the aircraft. Well, when they really got down to the investigation and investigated all these parts, guess what they realized?
But
That Boeing knowingly built the aircraft with the wings a little bit far back, so the balance of the whole aircraft was off. But
okay.
instead of just like, disassembling it and restarting the aircraft production, instead, guess what they did? They put a
They just shit it out.
software. Yeah, they put software in the aircraft that would virtually balance it, by like automatically pointing the nose up a little bit. And then that
Jeez.
software update malfunctioned and killed everybody because the pilot, like, imagine you're a pilot and against your will, your plane's just pushing you right to the ground and you can't do anything about it. That's just insane. I know there was like one or two that survived who had to like pull back as good as, like, they literally had to use all their body weight and everything to pull that steering wheel back, um
Yeah.
or not steering wheel, but whatever they're called, uh,
Mhm.
um in aviation. But yeah, that's just one example of the greed of Boeing. And you know I bet you the situation will be written off as just a guy who went rogue and killed himself. Um, or maybe there's a much deeper truth to it, and either way, I'd like to know the truth, you know?
Certainly, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Boeing isn't your friend. They're
No,
definitely not our friends now. So, what's
certainly.
your next topic?
Um, I mean, that's kind of it for me. What about you?
Really? You're finished up?
Uh, I have a few, but they're kind of dumb. Um,
I mean, hey, let's hear it.
okay. Pablo Picasso died. It's a
Yeah.
pig that paints, and it died and turned into
Oh
bacon.
my god.
Um, Microsoft is hosting a digital event on March 21st where they might announce new Surface devices and they will brand them as AI PCs.
Really? Wait,
Yeah.
AI PCs?
Yeah, so they'll probably be fully integrated.
That is interesting.
March 21st, mark your calendars, everyone. No, I probably wouldn't ever buy one.
Yeah. Yeah, let me buy an AI PC. Oh my
Imagine you
gosh.
get like an AI, but like a
What the heck is
Siri
that
Home
picture?
type thing. It's Pablo Picasso.
Oh my god. Wow. But yeah, I
It's
I
great.
wish I wish they would implement, like, the advanced AI into like Siri and
Yeah,
Alexa and
like
all
what if they
that.
get like Chat GPT Home, and then you just ask it things, and it just knows it better than
Yeah.
Alexa.
I mean, honestly, I feel like that's right around the corner. Because did you hear Amazon's
Probably.
developing their own AI technology? Um,
I wouldn't put it past them.
yeah, I forget the code name for it, but it's called Rufus. It's called Rufus, and it's their AI, and I guess they're going to be implementing it soon. But I've been thinking about that. How these home assistants, they're so kind of dumb now.
Yeah,
Like, you can really give it more prompts if it thought more like a human brain. It could help you out more, you know.
yeah.
I'd rather just tell it a sentence of what I want, like, hey, turn on my light and, you know, write up an email for me and send it to John, and it'll automatically know, you know.
Yeah.
And then maybe John will see it on his phone when he's dead by Boeing. So, but any other topics you got?
Nope, that's it for me.
Well, I got two more. So,
Let's hear it.
Airbnb, and I was shocked about this, by the way. Airbnb is banning the use of all indoor security cameras.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've never been in an Airbnb personally, but something I've been thinking about lately is the fact that some Airbnbs have cameras right inside the Airbnb, and
Yeah.
that's kind of scary to me, your private conversations. You might go to a beautiful retreat and you just want to have private conversations and hang out, but then there's cameras on the outside of the house and in the inside of the house. Obviously, outside's still allowed as long as you put notices that they're there and make them clearly visible. But inside cameras are now officially banned. Um, and Airbnb
Yeah.
said it's prohibiting the use of all of its indoor security cameras on all of its listings worldwide, regardless of the purpose or location. In an effort to simplify its policy on security cameras and other devices, hosts will no longer be allowed to use cameras in any area of the home, effective April 30th. Any violations of the revised policy will be investigated, and the listing or account holder could potentially be removed from the platform. Previously, hosts have been able to use indoor security cameras within common areas of a property like hallways or living rooms, as long as it was disclosed on the listings page before booking. So, do we nod
I like
this?
that
How do we
'cause,
look at this?
well, I like it. On
Yeah,
one hand, you have it where, like, it's not great for the owners because, like, what if their stuff gets damaged? How do you manage that? Um, well, I mean, you just take pictures before and after. Maybe that might work.
right.
Um, uh, on the bright side, you won't have, well, you shouldn't have, creepy owners trying to get pictures of you in secret camera spots of, you know,
Yeah.
inappropriately.
I mean, I don't feel like we'll ever get away from the secret cameras though, because you never know.
I
Like
mean,
it's kind
yeah,
of hard to know. Like imagine they disguised it.
like the have you seen those USB cameras where it's
Yeah,
in the wall outlet?
or like
Those
those
freak me
clocks
out.
that have the camera built in.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy, honestly. Or they could even put like a bug in there, an audio bug. But yeah, there's a lot of different possibilities. But like, I am glad that they are cracking down on this, and I'm hoping that most hosts of Airbnbs are going to follow the policy and be good about it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So that's definitely a plus, and hopefully we'll see more bannings of Airbnbs that inappropriately use this. But I feel like if you're using a property as an Airbnb, that's probably your business model, and you don't want to, get banned from a platform because then you'll miss out on a lot of income. So
Yeah, for sure.
probably not going to violate the rules, right?
Yeah.
Unless they're like super creepy. But now my last topic is pretty interesting. It's a health topic here. Uh, so cancer-causing chemical called benzene found in common acne products. So those skincare products that you might use to remove acne. Um,
Yeah.
so there's a cancer-causing chemical in that. And it
Oh.
Yeah, and a testing company found some acne products that can produce high levels of benzene when they're exposed to hot temperatures. Benzene is a group 1 carcinogen similar to asbestos.
Oh.
So, we know asbestos, right? Like that stuff's pretty bad. Um
Yeah.
so benzene's bad too basically. And I guess you just have to look
Yikes.
out for it. Now I was actually when I found out about this topic, I grabbed my bulldog face wash that I use, and
Yeah.
I have face scrub and moisturizer for my daily skin routine. Not sponsored. And I looked in the ingredients, and it has benzoic acid, but it says here that it's benzene, not benzoic. So I don't know if they're the same thing. I hope not.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, maybe it's a similar. Oh, benzoic acid is less reactive. It's a alternative. Um, Benzene is hazardous, and benzoic is good. Um, and it's not the same. Wow, wait, the UK and the EU already banned benzene, and now the United States just found out, and they're banning it now. Oh my god. We're late to the party always when it comes to banning stuff. That is weird. But that's all the topics I got for today. Sorry for getting away from the mic there. But that's all the topics I got.
I think we're good.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to follow the podcast. Review us at bit.ly/MattyJoshPod. And thanks for listening to the first episode of Techno Talk on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Podcasts, Apple Music, I think I already said that, YouTube, iHeartRadio. I don't know, we're on a lot of different platforms here. I could say all of them. We're on Spotify, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube. And you could also send in your voice message through our website. And, you know, we'll play it on the show. Maybe you ask a question like, hey, how tall are you, Joshua? And we'll go from there. Better get measuring in case that ends up being a question. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Anything else you want to add?
No. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.